Good evening, everyone. I'm your reporter, JJ, on MacFam TV, Sneakerhead Diaries, Volume 2. And today, we will be speaking with Mrs. Sneakerhead, Mr. Reed's wife. Hey, how you doing now?
Hi.
Good. Oh, those some nice looking J's. What kind of those?
These are my husband's favorite. These are the concrete floors.
Oh, okay. I see you rocking and everything.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you mind if I have a seat and ask you a few questions?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Okay, my first question is, can I get a little bit about your background? What was your life like?
Sure. I grew up on the west side of Chicago. Mm-hmm. Born and raised Chicago all my life until we relocated. But I went to Westinghouse High School, married a teenage love many years later. We've been married for almost 13 years. It'll be 13 next year in May. I have two adorable fur babies, Troy Trouble and Connie Consequences, which you've met and played with. Let's see. And then also, as far as my background, career-wise, I am a software engineer. Been doing this for probably 20-something years.
That's incredible.
So, but like I said, my husband and I, we've been married for almost 13 years, but we've known each other for 30 plus. So, very long time.
That sounds like a blessing to me.
It is.
My next question is, when did you know that you were married to a sneakerhead?
Oh my goodness, that's almost a loaded question because, I mean, I knew that I can see that, when we were dating, whenever he would come and visit, he would have on, different pairs of J's. And when he travels, he has more than one pair with him. But I want to say I really didn't know until we got married. And I saw how many pairs of J's he had. And he said that, when he was younger, his dad wasn't trying to buy them expensive shoes. It was just basically, what was considered a necessity, and that wasn't considered a necessity for school. So when he got of age and was able to purchase his own, he just started buying J's. It's like every time something new come out, he was getting them. And it's funny because I remember a few years back, he told me, he was like, Tom, this is it. This is it. I'm not going to buy no more. And then the next thing you know, he buying more. But then it got to a point where not only was he buying he wasn't just buying for himself, he was actually buying for me too, because he would want to make sure, especially if it was something that I liked or something that he really liked, he wanted to make sure that we had the same ones. So that way we were matching.
Okay. That sounds like a keeper too. My last question, what do you want the voters to know and understand about your husband in this contest?
Well, what I want them to know and understand is that he's very passionate, and this is something, near and dear to him because of the relationship he had with his mom before she passed. They were, both of them, I guess you could say, was considered the fashionista. My mother-in-law, she can dress, come to shoes, dresses, her hair, even to her lashes. She was very stylish. And so that was something that she imparted in him. And so, just a thought when he goes on, say for instance, job interviews, you dress, like they tell you, you dress for not the job itself, but where you want to be, And it's interesting because you would think, oh, well, if you're interviewing for a warehouse or 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 if you're interviewing for, say, a sneaker store, then you would think you would dress the part based on the atmosphere of how they dress. But no, he have on a full suit and tie, have his little hat on, and his dress boots and all of that. So he's dressed to the nines. So, and that's always been, his character. So, with this particular contest, it allows him to bring out more of his creative side, because if he wins this contest, when he wins it, gotta speak it into fruition. When he wins it, he'll get to customize his own sneakers with the surgeon himself in LA. So that's a big deal.
And I'm glad to hear all that. And I got a lot of belief in the big guy himself. But we do appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you for this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, all I ask you to do is vote, donate, and repost. And also, we will also have a YouTube channel. Is Henry McCoy. And
oh yeah, the shout outs. My husband always does shout outs to all of his people, all of his supporters. So in like fashion, he's giving me a list so that I don't forget who to include. So we definitely want to give a shout out to our niece Lil TT and my sister Desi and his niece Tiff and CP3. We also have J-Man, Nan, and Ralph, as well as Mrs. Jen. We have Puddin', and then we have Katie, who just recently had similar surgery as I had. So we're hoping that he heals soon and have renewed health. We have TD and Bush. We also have Dee Dee and Seesaw. We have G and Chris and Jalen, CJ, and we have Tauntaun and Jay and T. Perkins and Mr. Fields and Miko. We also have Miss Frails, and let's see here. We also have Jan and Ash and Kawana, Maine, and then also everyone that has already voted and donated and repost. We want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts and ask them to please keep those votes coming in. We're now in the third phase. My husband has made it to the top 15. So this contest is going to continue on for a few more phases. So we want to make sure that everyone continue to please utilize those free votes as well. And then too, check out his YouTube channel, which is Mr. Reed, R.I. So thank you, JJ. It's been great.
It is a pleasure.